So let's see if I can learn Python in 7 days. Yes, you can learn Python in 7 days. I am talking about the fundamental knowledge of Python programming language. I am talking about the basic knowledge of Python programming language. After 7 days, you can choose the domain or you can choose your career path and proceed ahead in that particular way. But you have to start today. You should be consistent. You have to have a commitment. You should give 3 to 4 hours to your Python coding, then only you can do it. Because I can only make videos, but the efforts are all yours. You have to start it today itself, just after this video. So let's see what exactly you have to do and what path you have to follow. Number one thing before I begin with the roadmap is that you can use AI tools, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Copilot, you can use Gemini or any other tool as well. If you don't want a mentor, if you don't want a guidance, if you don't want a tutor for yourself and you believe that you can do it by your own, then that's pretty good. Go ahead and do it. So let's start with a roadmap. Number one thing that you have to do is you should have a complete setup of Python. So in your day one, you have to start with installing Python. You should have the basic understanding of Python, which type of language Python is and what exactly Python can do for you, so that after 7 days, you can choose what you want it to be. But if you are still unaware that what exactly you have to do in your career, or you haven't selected any, if you wanted to be a developer, machine learning engineer or any other thing in Python, then you can choose it just within 1 day. You have to spend with ChatGPT. You have to ask certain questions that okay, what are the subdomains that I can choose and what are the options that I have for my career, what are the roles that I can opt for, or anything similar to this. Whatever is in your mind, just go ask your ChatGPT. Next thing that I wanted to tell you is that before you are starting, you have to think about your career and your goal, because not everyone can learn 100% of the programming. So you have to stay consistent as per your goal. You don't have to go with the unrelated topic that is not for your role or that is maybe not for your company. So you have to first be focused towards your goal, and that much you have to learn. Day one is you have to get a complete setup. You have to install Python and you have to start with your first code if you haven't done it. Every coder starts with hello world. You can start with anything literally, because we are in 2025. Why to stick to hello world only? You can change this text obviously with something else. That is going to be your first code. Once you are done with day one, you have the understanding what Python is, which type of language Python is, and what exactly you are going to opt for in your career, then you are good to go. In day 2, you have to learn about some basic things in Python, like what is variable, what is data type, and how you are going to use it in the real world, why they exactly exist. You have to ask these type of questions. These type of questions are only thing that can help you understand the conceptual things easily. You don't have to learn the syntax, you don't have to memorize it, you don't have to do rectification of what you have been doing in schools. You have to just understand the logic, understand what we are writing and why we are writing and how we are writing exactly. That's it. After completing the data types and the variables, try to create a short program in which you are going to, take input. You also have to discuss about input. So you have to take input, you have to store it in the variable, then display it in the perfect manner, and make sure you're displaying the data type as well. Now let's come up with the day 3. In day 3, you have to understand some mathematical thing, that is operator. You have to understand operator, you have to understand conditional statement. Now you are going to control your code. Obviously, you know how to take input, how to store it, and how to print it. Next thing is how you have to control it. I don't want this output to be displayed right now. I want it after this particular condition met. Then accordingly, you have to learn about the conditional statement, that what exactly conditional statements are, how to use them, what are the syntax. Don't memorize it again. Just try to write it down and see how exactly we have to write it and why we have to write it, obviously. Then you have to try to learn every possible conditional statement, because we have if statement, if else statement, we have nested if, we have elif. Try to utilize all of them and try to create a short program that may be a calculator. Learn everything quickly, because this is a long marathon. You are going to run, but stay consistent and patient while learning. Now in day 4, you have to learn about loops. Just learn about loops. Don't talk about other topics, just learn about loops, because there are 2 types of loops. They are again a control flow, but You have to learn it separately because loops are used in games. Loops are used everywhere in every field. Whether you are going to be a developer or whether you are going for your machine learning role, you are going to use loops. So loops are important, conditional statements are important. That is why I am saying give 7 days to yourself for the foundational knowledge. And on day 5 you have to learn about functions and modules. There are multiple modules, multiple libraries in Python which helps you do the task effectively. So you have to learn about functions and library. Functions are basically reusability of the code. So obviously this is going to be used in developer and other roles as well. So you have to learn about how to create reusability of your code and how to write down some modules. You have to create your own modules so that in future if you have any idea you can create a module in Python as well. You're free because this is open source language. So first is function, another is modules and the libraries. There is a difference between modules and library. Have a talk with your ChatGPT. It will let you know what it is, and if you still don't understand, don't forget to comment down.
Next is data structure. You have to learn about certain data structures in Python. There are several data structures. You have to learn about list, tuple, set, and dictionary. These will help you to arrange your data and to organize it. Once you will know how to arrange your data and to organize it in the better format, you will be able to manipulate the data anytime. If you are going to opt the data analysis, data scientist, or machine learning domain, then also it's going to help you. Or if you are going for the developer role, then also you need to work on the data.
Now next is day 7. In day 7 you have to choose one thing. You have two options. First is OOPS. Second is file handling. OOPS is required for the developer role, or if you wanted to go for the framework development, like I said, you can create libraries, you can create modules. So if you wanted to create any of these things, you can go with the OOPS. OOPS means object oriented programming, in which we define everything on the basis of objects and we create certain sub objects in the classes. So you have to choose from OOPS and file handling. File handling is for those who wanted to go for the data analyst or data scientist, machine learning or artificial intelligence. If you are looking for any of these roles, then you have to go for the file handling, or else you can learn OOPS. There are multiple free resources available on Google. There are multiple free courses available on websites. There are multiple free playlists available on YouTube. You can choose any one of them for your learning. There are some resources that I have already uploaded on Instagram or my Telegram channel. You can check them out. I regularly update free resources on my Telegram. So that could be one of the good resource for you for the free tutorials or free PDFs. Don't forget to check it out. Now you are on day 7. You have learned, suppose you have learned file handling. Then you can proceed ahead as per your goal. As I said, if you are going for the machine learning, then list down some topics, list down some frameworks that you need to learn. You have to learn some 10 libraries that is good for that role, so that you can easily get a job or a freelancing project as well. So if you found this video interesting, don't forget to comment down and also let me know what topic you want me to cover in the next video. Bye bye.